Hey guys, what I want to talk about in this video is something I haven't heard much about. It's been out there a long time, it's nothing new, but it's not something that comes up regularly. What I want to talk about is gas bubble disease. It's a pretty serious condition, something you definitely want to avoid like all diseases, viruses, fungal infections. This happens in fish in captivity and this happens in fish out in the wild. Well, what is it? What does it look like? What causes it? Let's get right into it. One of the common things people confuse this with is they'll say they had too much oxygen in their aquarium. Although too much oxygen in your aquarium can cause this, 9 times out of 10, the actual thing that's causing it is too much nitrogen in your aquarium. Okay? Don't confuse that with nitrates. You can't talk about this subject without bringing up the nitrogen cycle. No, this isn't going to be a nitrogen cycle video, but ammonia gets converted to nitrites. Nitrites gets converted to nitrates, but there's that last little one at the end of this cycle, and it's the nitrates getting converted to nitrogen. Well, once you get too much nitrogen built up, you got gas bubble disease. What it looks like, you can see in the thumbnail of this video what it looks like. This mainly affects the eyeballs, but it also affects other parts of the fish, the gills, the fins, and the skin. What does this do to the fish? Well, one thing it does to the fish is it gets absorbed into the fish's body when there's an excess amount in the tank. It gets absorbed through the small blood vessels. It can actually block the blood flow, obviously, in these blood vessels, which can cause tissue damage. It can also affect and do other things to the fish, like swim bladder disease. It can bloat them up, and have buoyancy issues. Let's talk about what you can do to see if you think your fish has this disease. There's going to be several things you can look for, one of which is lack of appetite, lack of activity, and like I just said, buoyancy issues, and visible bubbles all over their heads, their eyes, their fins, their gills, their bodies. If you have this issue, it is because there's too much nitrogen in your tank. Now, I know nitrates and nitrogen sounds similar, but they are two very different things. Nitrates is a compound. It is a part of oxygen. But nitrogen is an element. So, like I said, if you're having this gas bubble disease on your fish, it's most likely because you have too much nitrogen in your tank. Why do you have too much nitrogen in your tank? The same reason you might have too much ammonia or nitrites or nitrates. The only real way to get rid of nitrates is to water changes. You have to physically remove it. There's things and products you can buy to help break it down. Plants, like this fancy 125 gallon fancy goldfish tank back here. I got a ton of plants. I got pothos on top. I can do my water changes every 2 weeks. My nitrates still stay around 40 to 80 ppm. And I only feed my fish once a day, and it's high quality food. Every tank's different. Yours might not be that way. There's people out there that have no nitrates. That's because it's got reduced down to nitrogen. Right? So, let's look at a couple other things about this. You might want to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I got a couple more things to tell you. This might make or break your hobby or make or break your fish, so stay tuned. If you've never heard about this disease, there's a little bit more to tell you. Other things that can cause too much nitrogen in your tank is, other than not doing our maintenance and getting that uneaten food and uneaten detritus out, poop. Another thing that can cause an excess of nitrogen in your tank is a sudden change of temperature or a sudden change of pressure in the water. All these things can contribute to having high nitrogen in your tank. Sometimes this disease affects major organs. If that happens, other than going to a vet, if you love your fish a lot, there are some steps you can take, like with any illness or disease, same with humans, but it's probably gonna it's probably going to take them out. It's probably going to pass away from it. Some fish, you might not even know they had it. They might not show any signs or symptoms, while other fish can be chronically affected. You never know. In the end, the best way to avoid it, do your regular maintenance. Let's get our water changes done. Let's get a good, accurate water test kit. Test once a week. Keep track of everything. And make sure all your parameters are stable and where they got to be. And your fish will probably live a healthy, long life. Now, I don't care how good of a fish keeper you are. Sometimes stuff comes up and you can't avoid it. But as long as you're doing your due diligence and your tank husbandry and doing all these things we discussed, you're going to be fine. So that's it. A quick video on gas bubble disease. Like I said, it's not nothing I've heard of too much. I like to put out accurate information out there through experience and research. This, however, I have never experienced. So I wanted to put a video out there and catch people and hope it helps them. If it does, leave a comment below. Let me know if you like the video. And if you want to hear about anything else, let me know in the comment below. You can contact me. My email is in the channel about section on my channel, and yep, I know about it, and I've researched it, or one or the other. I'll put a video out there. So thanks for stopping by. Be safe. Have a good rest of the week. One more thing I forgot to mention. In addition to a good water test kit like Aquarium Co-op's test strips or the API Liquid Master test kit, another thing you can get, especially when we're talking about dissolved oxygen and dissolved nitrogen, things like this in our water, a good thing to get is a TDS meter. This checks for a lot of that stuff, and that's something I want to get one. I haven't got one. I've never done it, but it's good to see where, and I am going to get one. And it's another good thing to just have another step above to help keep your fish happy, healthy for a long time. So, yep, TDS meter too. So, all right, bye now for real this time. No, seriously, this is it. Look. This tank's sweet.